Welcome to the State of Wyoming Subject Matter Minute, where we cover a wide variety of subjects related to State of Wyoming employment. This information is for you and me, the state employee. From hidden benefits to systems and processes, we'll make your job easier by giving you the lowdown, the how-to, and hopefully entertain you a bit along the way. And now, today's Subject Matter Minute.
Hello and welcome to the Subject Matter Minute, and welcome to summer. Now granted, it was cold and rainy all day Sunday, and the temperature really hasn't broken 70 here in Laramie yet, but it still feels like summer, and maybe that's keeping the mosquitoes away. So, pros and cons. So the last episode was on the flexible work schedule policy. That was hard to get out. I've heard from many of you that this really sparked some conversations, and that's fabulous. It may make some supervisors' jobs a little bit harder, but shouldn't we all be working towards satisfaction with our jobs? And flexibility tops the list as far as job satisfaction goes. So keep after it. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of PMI stuff going on right now. Everyone is finishing up last year's PMI process, and we just started the next evaluation period, and all on a brand new system. Gotta love it, right? Try not to hate on HRD because this will make things better down the road. We're going to be just like the other big kids with a system that ties all of our essential HR stuff together. And now to top off all this PMI stuff, for the second year in a row, a portion of our raises will be based on our performance evaluation scores. Okay? And that's what I want to talk to you about today, our performance evaluation score. Before I dive into this, I want to thank Rebecca Kuba of HRD for being my subject matter expert this episode. She has been busting her hump getting the new NeoGov performance system working for all of us. Thanks, Rebecca. So, understandably, there's been some confusion out there about PMI scoring. We all been raised with the A through F mentality, right? So that makes it hard to see a score of 2 out of 4 as a good score. It's more like 50% or an F, right? Well, trust me, a score of 2 out of 4 in our system is good, quite good. Okay, first of all, let's talk about how scores are calculated. All right, as you have heard, we're now being rated on 7 competencies. We're all being rated on the same 7 competencies. Each competency rating carries equal weight. In order to get an average, numerical values are associated with each rating. Okay, so unsatisfactory gives you 0 points. Growth necessary gives you 1. Meets expectations 2. Commendable 3. And superior gives you a point value of 4. All right, each numeric value is used to compute the average or your overall score. Let's practice. Let's say I receive the following ratings. Now let's put in the numerical equivalents. You add up all of the numbers and divide by the total number of competencies, which is 7. So, as you can see, I will receive an overall score of 2.14. Okay, now let's look at the chart to see what this means. You can see that I'm safely within the meets expectations area on the chart. Okay, so as I mentioned before, to many the score of 2.14 out of 4 seems like a lousy score. And again, to many the term meets expectations doesn't seem all that good as well. Well, here's the deal with meets expectations, okay? It means you are a great employee, all right? You are doing what you were hired to do and you're doing it well. The actual definition of an overall rating of meets expectations at the state of Wyoming is this. Employee is a highly valued contributor who performs all essential functions of the job successfully. Employee consistently sustains an effective level of performance. The individual reliably performs position duties. This individual is comfortable with responsibilities and often is described as the norm, a solid performer. Employees doing adequate work within the scope of their classification. Again, a valued contributor. Let's be honest, this is where most people at the state should fall in the ratings. If everyone at the state got a meets expectations and this truly matched their output, then this organization would be running like a finely oiled machine. Not that it's not, I just don't know if it is or not. It probably depends on who you ask. All right, while we're here, let's explore the other overall ratings to see what they mean. As you saw before, meets expectations is a numerical score of 1.5 to 2.4. You can see where the others line up here. Let's just say that instead of growth necessary for communication, I rocked a superior. Superiors are worth 4 points, so that bumps my score up to 2.6. As you can see, that gives me an overall score within the commendable area. Someone who scores as commendable, to put it briefly, exceeds the position expectations and performs exemplary work within the scope of their classification. If I were to have the most motivated year of my life and score an overall rating of superior, that would mean that I had made outstanding and remarkable contributions constantly, and that I had performed at a level that was astonishing and was often working outside the scope of my classification. Okay, let's go the other direction. If I had scored between 0.5 and 1.4, I would have a growth necessary rating. This means that my work was inconsistent and that I was not quite living up to expectations. And finally, if I just decide, hold up, I'm going to have to make a post-recording edit here because I made a potentially inappropriate joke about those who got an unsatisfactory rating. So you know, an employee that gets an unsatisfactory rating, quote, fails to achieve all expectations or standards, end quote. Luckily, we had very few of those at the state last year. Okay, so just so you know, a large majority of us fall into the meets expectation and commendable area. If you want more details about the different ratings, I have linked a rater chart down below in the show notes. Okay, that's it for today. I hope this helps clear up some confusion and also helps those that didn't feel so great about their evaluation ratings, perhaps. Now get into the system and finish up last year's PMI and get started on this year's.
You have been watching the Subject Matter Minute with Matt Nagy. Please help us out by subscribing. And join us next month when we'll cover another topic of interest for all State of Wyoming employees. Again, thank you for joining us on the Subject Matter Minute.